Yes, I'm dressed like a terrorist, but that's because it is minus 18 degrees. But we're here at a light show at the Shelbourne Museum. So the Shelbourne Farms here was a big estate that was bought by some very rich industrialists around about 130 years ago. And they had a lot of money and turned it into a museum just after the war. Hence all these buildings. So they had quite a collection of things they wanted to show off. And then they decided they wanted to buy lots of other things they wanted to show off. I really should bring this down. I look like a monk. Yay! So this is the round red barn, which the Shelbournes brought in by helicopter, believe it or not. They actually brought that from southern Vermont up in one piece and flew it here on a big Chinook. So this was the Shelbourne station, which they brought here. So the Webbs, who originally owned the site here, were actually railroad magnates. So this was one of their old trains. Let's see if I can get a better close-up shot of that. This is just amazing. They actually go to the trouble of like putting lights into the railway tracks, and it's like covered with snow now, so it looks absolutely fantastic. I hope it's picking this up for you. But that is gorgeous. So this is the Ticonderoga. It is the last remaining paddle wheeler in existence, and it used to ply its way across Lake Champlain, which I'm pronouncing really badly, but I don't care. It's cold, it's minus 18. And when the museum brought it in the 50s, they actually constructed railway lines down to the lake, maybe about 4 in parallel. They mounted the boat onto the railway lines, and they actually brought it here on its own little railway, which they then removed after the boat was landed. So this is how they used to bring cars off and on the Ticonderoga. They didn't do very many back in the day, but you can see one of the old vintage cars just inside there. Of course, every ship, even a landlocked one like the Ticonderoga, needs a lighthouse. So yeah, there's a lighthouse here. So the lighthouse is from the Lake Champlain that's beside us here. It's from about the 1870s, but it was decommissioned in the 1950s and brought to the museum, just like everything. The snow just makes all the difference to the atmosphere here. It really feels like we are in Narnia. Well, if Narnia had lots of electric lighting. Just one last shot of the Ticonderoga, because it's just fantastic sitting there in this little sea of snow with all the lights around it. Yeah, that is gorgeous. It's kind of interesting that this is minus 18. Yes. And if this was back home, there would be a weather warning. We wouldn't be able to leave the house. And we're out here at an attraction, and there's loads of families and people doing stuff, and yeah. Anyway, let's go get some hot chocolate. Okay, hot chocolate has been got. Back to the whatever this is. Lights, back to the lights. Well, that was the Shelbourne Museum. It's definitely worth a visit. They do have some cars here, but not very many. This wasn't very automotive themed, but you know what? It's Christmas. We had fun and we enjoyed it. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic time. And Sean and I will be back with more nonsense as soon as I physically get back to England. Bye.